Big Girl About Library, and I'm here today to talk about a reading problem. Variety is like the spice of life, and I think maybe in my reading I embrace that like a little too much because I never reread books. I can't remember the last time I did it. I don't do it, and I should, because like, not to brag, but you know what? I read some really good books. I'm pretty good at picking books that I like. And I've read some really good ones over the years that I have just enjoyed and then never revisited, never tried them again, never wanted to like experience that. Why? I don't know. But I'm fixing that this month. I was inspired to do this because some awesome booktubers and bookstagrammers and book bloggers have gotten together with Murphy Napier. I will link her channel down below. They are hosting a Rereadathon. It is from March 18th through March 24th, and I will be participating because I am terrible at rereading and I need an excuse. I need someone to make me do it, and I'm going to. So we're going to talk about the book that I'm going to be rereading, as well as other books that I would like to reread. Also, rereading is really hard to say, so wish me the best of luck. Here we go. The book that I am going to be rereading is Lillian the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. It's so good. It's so good. I read this book back in 2016 and I like blew through it, you guys. I had this book on hold. There are a million other holds. I had a fairly young child and it was just, I wasn't able to enjoy this book the way that I think I would now. I liked it a lot. I tell everyone about it. If somebody asks for a book recommendation, like 9 times out of 10, this is gonna be on the list. At the same time though, I am confident that I did not read this book like I would read it now. I think I took a picture of it for Bookstagram, but I didn't do a 60-second book review of it. I didn't share all of the quotes that I love from this book. I don't know if I even wrote a blog post about it. Like, who was I? If you're not familiar with this book, it is about a man named Ted and his Lily named Doc, and a dachshund named Lily. Ted and Lily are the best of friends. Like, you do not get closer in a man-dog, healthy man-dog, slightly unhealthy, really, man-dog relationship than you do with Lily and Ted. One day when Ted and Lily are chatting on the couch, like you do with your dog, Ted notices that Lily has something growing on her forehead, and he calls it an octopus. But it is obvious to us as readers and to Ted and to the veterinarian that it is not an octopus, it's cancer. And this book is about Ted coming to terms with Lily's mortality, but also his mortality and everyone's mortality. And it's just, it's really, really good. It's so touching. It is so beautifully written. Stephen Rowley is absolutely one of my favorite authors for having pulled this book off. And one of the things I'm really interested to revisit in this book is that there is magical realism, which I am shocked that I liked. It is not something that I look for in books. It's usually something I can't stand in books. And so I'm really interested to reread those parts again. I can't tell, I mean, I don't know if I just gave it a pass because I was loving the book so much, or if it just like really worked in those parts, which is like what I'm hoping for, but we'll see. There are so many good people who blurbed the back of this book. The author of The Rosie Project, the author of The Art of Racing in the Rain, the author of Orphan Train, the author of Little Bee, and Sarah Gruen, who wrote At the Water's Edge, but I think she also wrote something else that I really enjoyed. This book is so, so good, and I'm so excited to be revisiting it, and I hope I love it as much as I did the first time I read it. There are so many other books besides the one that I'm going to be rereading that I love and I would very much like to reread. The first one that came to mind besides Lily and the Octopus was The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I read this book a long time ago, like 2011, maybe earlier than that. I think I actually read 2 of her books and I remember nothing. I remember absolutely nothing about what happened. And I gave these books like 4 and 5-star ratings on Goodreads. So it's super weird to me that I don't remember anything about the books. I've seen the preview for the movie and I really want to see it. I love Brie Larson, but I kind of have a guilty reader feeling about watching the movie when I don't remember the book. Like, am I really breaking the rule if I read the book and I just don't remember it? It reminds me a lot, like my impressions of this book remind me a lot of like when I'm not wearing my glasses. Like everything is super fuzzy and hazy. I remember they lived in poverty, and I remember that her parents were like quirky to the point of being abusive, but I other than that, I have no idea, like major plot points, and most importantly, how Jeanette Walls like came out of that and is the person that she is today. I have no idea. I don't remember reading it, but I do really want to watch the movie, so I feel like I need to reread the book. Let me know what you think down below. Next up is a book that I hadn't even thought about until I was like looking at my shelf, and I realized this is a book that I really should reread. And that is a heartbreaking work of Staggering Genius by Dave Eggers. I've had this book on my bookshelf in a variety of different locations and states since my junior year of high school, which I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but it was a long time. But I remember coming back to school, because I read this between my junior and senior year, and I remember coming back to school at the beginning of my senior year, like sitting down in English class, and the teacher asking us like,
what did you do this summer?
And of course I'm thinking like,
I've read a bunch of really cool books.
And this is like one of the ones that really stood out to me so much that I still have it on my shelf. I highlighted it. Like, I just think that's so cute. Like baby Katie, like marked passages. Like I want to revisit this and see if I like it as much as I did then. It obviously made a huge impact on me, and I've read Dave Eggers since, but I remember just like really connecting with this book. And I think part of it was that it was like one of the first adult books that I read that wasn't for school, it wasn't assigned, it just grabbed my attention and I loved it, and so it's definitely one that I want to revisit. I've had it on my shelf and I've carried it around. Like, why do I do that if I have absolutely no intention of rereading that? Another book that I really need to reread, and I'm very anxious about, is the Harry Potter series. Like the whole series. I need to read all of them all over again. I don't remember huge chunks of like Harry Potter lore, and I feel terrible about that. Like, I was a huge Harry Potter fan, and now as an adult, I kind of question that like a little bit, because I really don't enjoy reading fantasy books now. And I'm very anxious about rereading the whole Harry Potter series, which I want to do, like it's going to happen. I'm just kind of anxious about it because what if I don't like Harry Potter anymore? Like, what if I'm not a fan? That is upsetting to me. And so I'm very anxious about rereading those books, but I also really want to do it because I hate that I don't get a lot of like Harry Potter jokes and like Harry Potter stories. Like when someone says that they're a Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff, or, you know, like I know those words, but they don't really have that much meaning to me anymore. And so I know I need to revisit the series, but I am anxious about it. And last but not least, I would really like to reread The Good Luck of Right Now by Matthew Quick. I blew through this book when I first read it. I used to blow through books. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would read like a 400-page book in a couple of days, and it was like right on to the next one, and there wasn't that period of like reflection and stuff that I have now, because of, not just because of BookTube, but just like, I don't know, it's just, reading changes as you get older, I guess, and I don't think I blow through books the way that I used to. I remember loving this book and loving this author. I've read other books by him since, but I don't remember that much about it, and it is like a 5-star read for me. So I definitely want to revisit this book and these characters. It also reminded me a lot of Eleanor Oliphant. So I loved Eleanor Oliphant, It's Completely Fine, and when I was reading it, I kept remembering this character that I loved in this book by Matthew Quick. And I couldn't really connect why, because I don't remember the book by Matthew Quick very much, but I want to reread it now. I love that BookTube and book blogging really gives me that space creatively and like emotionally and intellectually to like pause after reading a book and really think about it. And I'm excited to do that with all of these. Talking about them gets me really excited, like talking about your favorite books and your favorite reading experiences. And why it is that I don't revisit that more often, I don't know. Comment down below if any of these books are your favorites as well, if they're books that you need to reread, or let me know a book that you want to reread. Also, let me know if you have as much trouble saying reread as I do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more bookish content. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.